took quite a lot of time to have a final sequence to decide which order the tracks should go in, and in doing that we lost some tracks because we felt like the album was maybe a bit too long or a bit too dense. So that's my gin.
Oh, it wasn't water. It was water. Wow. I'm sorry.
You got the blood on your hands. I know it's my own.
I think it acts as a good bridge from the first album to the second album. It feels like a good opening. In a way, it kind of contains at least some of the elements that are later to occur in the album, so it felt like it was just a good sort of opening salvo.
It just so happened that the beginning of the song was kind of like excavated, so it is fairly empty, and it simply works as a good introduction. We only really realised that in the studio, because the song that we took into the studio wasn't like that at all. Miami was a song that we wrote sort of together as a band, as opposed to some of the songs that were written by individual members. And it has, I think, like musically the parts are very carefully intertwined. It carries over that element from previous songs from the last album. If you were to take away the individual musical parts, they would be maybe a little bit boring by themselves. But if you put them together, it is the body. It's like we've made something. We've built something.
That we were listening to, like particularly like New Jack Swing sort of beats, Teddy Riley production stuff. Or Jack in particular, our drummer, was listening to that, and it started off as a very it was a jam that was based around that idea of making a song that worked on that slow, almost hip hop groove.
It was a real departure for us because we've never written a song at that tempo with that groove.
It's the slowest song we've ever written by a long way, I think. It's at 98 BPM, something like that. That's really slow for us. It's kind of almost a homage to like the kind of classic pop, at least vocally, like the chorus, are really like big like pop choruses, and I feel like that was kind of what that was hinting towards. And it's kind of a love story. That was kind of one of the strangest songs to then go into the studio with. It was, it lived for a long time as a sort of loop, or as a collection of various loops that we attempted to sort of translate to a more full band format with varying degrees of success. That was definitely one of the more difficult ones to record, largely because these loops that existed of it were very dense. There was a lot of stuff going on that eventually got stripped away.
It's one of the first songs we've ever done which features all of us singing, and then that's it. It's just us and some drums, which is pretty exciting to do. We've
been in awe of a lot of Alan Lomax recordings for a number of years, and in some sort of way we felt like more the concept of Alan Lomax, where it's just a recording of a group of voices and something as primitive as or as basic as a pickaxe making a percussive sound. So we kind of wanted that feel of starkness to at least the middle bit of the song.
It was a song that was written over a very long period of time, and it was played repeatedly. It was played by us as a group and in different assortments of groups, and it had a lot of different lives, had a lot of different versions. I'm just rambling here.
It started off as it was a lot of Jimmy's stuff, and originally some of it was actually written still while we were on tour. Yeah. And it was just one of those songs that sort of grew into two movements. It has the first section and then the second section. The first section is a presentation of something, of a scene that then is flipped. That then is flipped in the second half of the song.
It represents the changing mood of the album by that point as well, like the kind of celebratory end, like the happy end.
I don't know if it is happy though.
No idea.
No, but I don't know if it's like happy though. I think the end's quite dark.
Okay, the crushing end of the song.
In the recording of the song, we were very careful to develop the dynamic, because it was a song that was supposed to be some sort of journey. It literally took us a long time of playing it, particularly with the drums, to attain a kind of a real dip. And it's like an oceanic dip. It really bottoms off, and then it has that crescendo that you talk about. It's rich with metaphor. It's got a lot of different metaphors. There's so many different interpretations. People have said things to us about its meaning that we'd never really even considered, which is quite exciting.
I think it's my favourite song on the record, because it's more ambitious than anything we've done before. Doing a song that's that long and has different movements, but that I think is still quite accessible. I don't think it's a difficult song to enjoy.